All right, we are gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna be kind of switching things up a bit today. I'm gonna be teaching the science portion instead of the reading like normal. But with that being said, just keep that in mind if I make any errors. It's been a while since I've done the reading. I guess it's been like a year, but still. So if you guys would flip to page 80 in your book. I think 2 weeks ago when I was going back and forth from the classrooms, you guys took this test on your own. And I don't know exactly what page the bubble sheet is. You guys might have to flip to that. But you guys took that on your own and we're supposed to grade it on your own also. Did you guys get to that point? Did you guys check them? No? That's okay. I can read them out loud. If you did, it'll take 2 seconds, so it shouldn't take too long. I'll read off the answers and then we'll go through and see if you guys had any specific questions on any of them and you're wondering, or you want an explanation as to why. The answer is what it is. Alright, give me 2 seconds. Alright, is everyone ready? Okay, so number 1 was B, number 2 was G, number 3 was C, number 4 was H, number 5 was B, number 6 was F, number 7 was C, 8 was G, 9 was D, 10 was H, 11 was B, 12 was F, 13 was C, 14 was J, 15 was C, 16 is G, 17 is B, 18 is J, and 19 is A. And then 20 is H. Any need repeated in those first 20. Alright. 21 is B, 22 is G, 23 is C, 24 is F, 25 is D, 26 is G, 27 is B, 28 is H, 29 is B, 30 is F, 31 is A, 32 is G, 33 is A, 34 is F, 35 is A, 36 is J, 37 is C, 38 is F, 39 is C, and 40 is J. Any need repeated in those last 20? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys like 2 or so minutes to just go through the ones that you missed and see if you can figure out why you missed it or solve it again. If not, we'll go through and see, or I'll try and answer and simplify it for you. Alright, are there any you guys are seeing that you want explained or anything? No? So this is kind of up to you guys. What we did in the other classes, we went through and like, I would find out how many people missed number 1, and then there was a couple where like 5 or more missed a specific question, and then we'd go over that one. So we can either do that, or we can just jump into doing our next practice test. It's up to you guys. Practice test? Okay. So I think it's kind of hard when you guys have had a couple weeks of not looking at these passages to know exactly what you were thinking in the time. So if we do the passage, we're doing it, or the practice test, we're doing it passage by passage. And what we're going to do is afterwards, we'll kind of do the same thing, and it'll hopefully be easier for you to kind of remember what the passage was about and everything like that. So page 370 is what you guys are going to flip to. Yeah. And then, yeah, that bubble sheet is on page 329, I think. We more than likely, I think we've already used that one for the reading test, so if you don't have it in your book, I can tear it out of mine. Okay, so while you're doing that, how many minutes do you have to do the science test? Yep, 45 minutes, and how many questions are there? What'd you say? Yep, 40 questions. And there's not a set amount of passages, but it's normally between what, 2 numbers? 6 and 7. Yep, so it's either going to be 6 or 7 passages. I guess I didn't look at how many this one has. Okay, so the one you're taking only has 6, so that's nice. But that does mean there's going to be more more questions per passage. So with 6 passages in 35 minutes, how much time do you have to do each passage? Roughly 6, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it at 6 minutes. We're going to see after a couple passages if you guys are getting done like 30 seconds to a minute before, then we'll drop it down to 5 minutes and 30 seconds or even 5. We'll see just kind of how it works. But I will, so for the first passage, we'll keep it at 6 minutes. I'll give you a minute warning when it is at 5, and then we'll check the answers after each passage. Any questions before we start? All right, 6 minutes and you are good to go. You've got 1 minute. All right, your time's up. How many people got through that whole passage in that time? Good. Okay, so it looks like just about everybody got through all of that. What we're gonna do is just go ahead and go through the answers right away. And there were 7 questions in that part, right? Okay. All right, so number 1 was A. Number 2 was H. Number 3 was C. Number 4 was J. Number 5 was A. Number 6 is J. And number 7 is D. Any need repeated from that section? Okay. So what we're gonna do is, you think keep it at 6 minutes? Was that a good time? Okay. We'll do 6 minutes again. And then looks like there's only 6 questions in this section anyways. So you should hopefully get it done with time to spare. Make sure you check your answers if you have time afterwards. And I'll give you a minute warning again at 5 minutes. Any questions before we start? All right, you are good to start. Alright, you've got 1 minute left. Alright, time is up. How many got the passage done in that time? Good, good. Alright, just about everybody. So we're gonna go through these answers. Number 8 is F, number 9 is D, 10 is H, 11 is B, 12 is J, and 13 is C. Anybody get all of those correct? Good. Alright, and any need repeated or anything? Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do this third passage. And then after that, we will go over any questions you guys have over the first half of the test. Okay. So passage 3, keep it 6 minutes. Is that working good? Okay. So we'll keep 6 minutes, and then again, I'll give you the minute warning. Any questions before we start? All right, you are good to go. Got 1 minute left. Alright, time is up. How many finished that passage in that 6 minutes? Good. Alright, everybody again. Okay. So, like I said, we're going to go through these answers quick, and then I'll give you time to go through and see if there's any that you missed and you need explained. So, for passage 3, number 14 is J, 15 is A, 16 is F, 17 is D, 18 is G, 19 is C, and 20 is G. Alright, any need repeated in that section? Alright, so I'm going to give you 5 or so minutes to go through and see which ones you missed, and then see if you can figure out why the correct answer is the one that it is, and if not, we can go through it together and see. Any you guys see from any of the passages? Number 8. Okay. All right. The correct answer was F. Okay. I will double check, but I'm pretty sure. Yep, correct answer is F. Any others?
12 and 13.
12 and 13. Okay, so same passage. Okay. So number 12 says, suppose 2 of the offspring from cross 3 with yellow coats are crossed. What percentage of the resulting offspring will have yellow coats? Okay, so if you look over in table 1 and you look at the ones with yellow coats, the thing that I guess differentiates them is the allele, I guess, and when it's both recessive, right? So whether or not you cross a yellow coat that has a dominant B allele, or either way, it's going to have two recessive E's. So when you cross it, there's no way that those will become dominant, right? So that will always result in two recessive E's, which will turn out to be a yellow coat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so what was the answer for that one?
J.
Okay.
Yeah, so their explanation just says, according to table 1, the EE genotype results in a black or brown coat color if they're both dominant, and the recessive E genotype results in yellow coat color. The observation that the recessive E genotype always corresponds to a yellow coat indicates that the gene E phenotypic expression is not affected by gene V. So no matter what, if B is dominant or recessive, if the E's are always, or if the E's are recessive, it'll always be a yellow coat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said 13?
Yeah.
Okay, so approximately what percentage of the normal gametes produced by a dog with the genotype capital B, lowercase b, and then dominant B or E's will contain the B allele? So the best answer is C. So this says the examinee must understand the segregation of chromosomes into gametes. So for a dog with the genotype uppercase B, lowercase b, and then two capital E's, half of the gametes will contain the B allele, and the other half will contain the lowercase b allele. Because if you do a Punnett square, let me see if I can find a picture of one. Okay, so if we cross, let me see, B. Okay, so if we have, so the one that we were crossing is this one, right? So you have to match this way, and then these two. So we'll cross BE, 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 and then BE. Times the same thing. This marker's tiny. So if you were to cross these, you'd get BE. Same thing. This will be the same here, same here, same here, same here. And then these ones will be hold on, I don't think they're talking about the same thing. Oh, so it's not even talking about crossing them. All it's saying is that the two B alleles that it has, half of it is the dominant, half of it's the lower,
Okay.
or recessive. I was looking at that's not gonna be 50%. So it's talking about just that dog, what its genes are. Any other questions you guys found. Okay, so let's move on to passage 4. We're gonna keep it at 6 minutes. We might not get through all 6 of the passages, but that's totally fine. It's just for repetition. So passage 4, we're gonna keep it 6 minutes just because that seems to be working. And we will go on from there, okay? Any questions before we start? All right, you are good to go. Alright, you've got 1 minute. Alright, time is up. Did everyone get through that one in that time? Good. Alright, so the answers for passage number 4 are 21 is B, 22 is F, 23 is B, 24 is H, 25 is C, 26 is G, and 27 is D. Any need repeated? Alright, so we've got, let's see, about 7 minutes left of class. We can do one more passage, or we can go through and ask, and figure out which ones were most missed. What do you guys want to do?
Which ones are missing?
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll start with number 1, and if you missed it, raise your hand, and then I'll tally them up. Don't be ashamed if you did miss it, because I'm sure nobody here got 100 on any of them. So just keep that in mind. How many missed number 1? Okay, number 2?
I made a dumb mistake on mine though for 2.
Okay, that happens. All right, number 3. All right, number 4. All right, number 5. Number 6. Number 7. All right, passage 2. How many missed number 8? Number 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. Okay. Passage 3. How many missed number 14? 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. Okay, and last passage. How many missed number 21? 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. And 27. Okay, and we only got through those 4, right? Okay, so out of those 4, I think the most missed was one that had 5, but then other than that, 1, 2, 3 that had 3, and that was it. So that's pretty good. So let's go over. Okay, so number 13 was the one with 5. Did that explain that answer a little bit more when we said that? Okay. So I'm assuming when they do that question that they're trying to trick you into making you think that they want you to cross a dog with that genotype, but it is talking about just the gametes and that allele. Okay. And then one of the ones that was missed with 3 was number 19. So let's flip to that one. 19. So one of the students predicted that the wet strengths of paper towels would not increase after treating the paper towels with a solution containing both GLA and zinc nitrate. The results of which experiment better refute or support this prediction? Okay, so this student is saying that if a paper towel was contained both the GLA and the zinc nitrate, that it would not be stronger than the ones that just had, what was it, just the zinc? Yeah, I think. So all you have to do is compare experiment 1 and experiment 2. So what does it say? The wet strength of the first one only goes up to 15, and none of them pass that, right? But when they have both the GLA and the zinc nitrate, they have to have the chart that goes all the way up to 50. Does that make sense? So that shows that, so it should be C because experiment 2 is kind of refuting, like that says the prediction. Okay? All right, let's explain. I'll go through one more, and I'll let you guys go. Another one that had 3 was number 5. So that was the first passage. It says, based on the descriptions given by students 1, 2, and 3, which of these students would be most likely to agree that the sum of the 3 bond angles in an ASI3 molecule is equal to 360 degrees? So just looking at their drawings, or their figures, I guess, figure 1, would that equal 360 degrees? Yep. Would figure 2? 120, 120, 120? Yep. And then figure 3 would not. So the answer for 5 is A. So students 1 and 2. Does that make sense? Okay. If you have any other questions, you can stick around. Otherwise, you guys are good to go.